First of all, it's awesome to be back, to come back to a tournament, a venue that you're defending champion. I have wonderful memories of this golf course, of the Outback Steakhouse tournament, and Amy, of all your hard work and the team, you do a wonderful job. So it's a pleasure for all of us to be back here, and I'm not surprised at all that you have the strongest field ever, because you're all doing such a phenomenal job that the players just love to return to the Outback Steakhouse tournament here in Tampa. And we all know last year we had this unfortunate rainstorm, which was maybe to my advantage on Sunday. we don't know what the outcome would have been, but I was happy with it. So hopefully this year we're going to have the kind of weather that we enjoyed today. And the golf course is already in great shape, and I know it's going to be better in 3 weeks' time. So I want to thank the greenkeeping staff and the management staff here of the TPC. They do an outstanding job, and it's just a lot of fun and a real privilege to be back here. And I want to thank Outback Steakhouse. I want to thank Chris and Bob for all that you have done for this tournament and for your support for the Champions Tour. We love you guys, and I hope it comes over that way, and hopefully we get to have this tournament for many, many years to come. Thank you.
To mind when I watch what he's accomplished in his first 2 years is domination. And what a guy like this is never going to say that. And it's not that the accomplishments are absolutely incredible. So, how do you stay so motivated to do that? You don't need to do this.
I don't need to, but I enjoy doing it, and I never needed extra motivation. I mean, I love the game of golf, and I love to compete. If you go play ping pong with me, or we go skiing, or whatever I do, I want to beat you. I just want to be the best and be the winner, and it doesn't always turn out in golf, as we know. Ryder Cup, you win some, you lose some, and more than not, you're gonna be second or worse, because it's just the nature of golf. But it's just a thrill to be competitive and to do something fairly well, and that adrenaline rush. That's probably why I play golf. Just the adrenaline rush that you get when you're in the hunt, when you're near the lead and you have a chance to win. So there's a lot of reasons to be out there, and what a great game. I'm 53 now. I might only be playing another 10 years or 7 years on this tour. So I want to enjoy it and have fun, and I couldn't think of a better place to do it.
You're obviously at the top of your game now on the Champions Tour, so how would you compare that to when you were at the top of your game on the regular tour, the PGA Tour?
Well, it's kind of hard to compare, but I think I have weeks nowadays where I play as good as golf as I ever played in my career. Obviously, as we get older, things start to hurt. There's a few backaches or shoulder aches or elbows or whatever it might be, and you get a little stiffer. You're not as flexible. You're not as strong. I'm not as strong as I was when 20, 30 years ago. But you have a lot more experience. Hopefully, I have a better golf swing because I've been practicing millions of shots more than I did 30 years ago. So my swing should be more grooved. I should have more knowledge about the game, the swing, how to play certain shots, what I can do, what I can't do. And it's a constant battle of me playing against the golf course. I really don't play against the other 80 guys out there. I'm playing against the golf course. Now, if I can beat the golf course, I have a good chance I'm going to win the tournament. And I still think I can improve, and that's what drives me to practice and to play, and hopefully win a few events. So that's really it.
Not to bring up anything that's difficult, but how many of you have the yips? Any of you have the yips? This guy, admittedly, has had it, 3 times in your career?
4 times.
4 times. Please tell us the secret.
First of all, I don't wish the yips on my biggest enemy. Like I wouldn't wish backaches on my biggest enemy, but it's a horrible, whatever you want to call it, affliction, disease. Because putting is such a big part of our game. If you putt great, you're going to have 25, 6, 7 putts. If you putt bad, you're going to have 36, 37 putts. I've had rounds when I've had 42 putts. I remember in a match play tournament, I had a putt this long, a foot. They wouldn't give it to me because the chances were that, greater I would miss it than make it. And those are difficult times, and that's when you're, there were certain days in my life when I seriously thought about quitting this game and just do something that's more fun than missing 2 and 3 foot. But maybe I'm a stubborn German, I don't know. Just work your way through it. What I did is just mostly did a lot of prayer, a lot of thinking and trying different techniques, different grips, and eventually had 4 different grips. I started off with a normal putting grip this way, then I went cross-handed, then I went split cross-handed. Actually won the Masters cross-handed and split cross-handed. And now the last 13 years I've been putting with a long putter. So you have to find something. My tip to you who struggle with this, you have to find something that you're comfortable with. Putting is all about comfort and relaxation and belief. You got to believe that you can make the putt. If you're standing there and you get all tense and tied up and you have bad vibes, you're not going to make it. You don't even have to hit it.
I resemble that.
You've had your son Stefan had it with you a couple times last year. Saw you do some pretty amazing things. Chipped in for the win at Korean Championship, hold out both for the win. And how's it been having him on your back?
It's been awesome to have one of your kids with you inside the ropes. They've traveled with me for many years, followed me all over the world at times, and but they're always kind of far away. 50 yards, 30 yards, sometimes more outside the ropes. So to have your son inside and have conversations with him about the game, the strategy, or whatever it is, and then get the opportunity to win tournaments with him on the side is just amazing. And the one shot that sticks out, obviously you mentioned maybe 2 of the best shots I've ever made, but at the 3M Championship, I think it was a couple of years ago, I told him I'm going to chip this in. I just had a feeling, and this is not being cocky or whatever. Sometimes you walk up to a ball and you just have this feeling, I could make this, And so it was a chip in for eagle on the last hole, and I chipped it in, and we just had the greatest time celebrating. And then, last year the same thing in Boca when I hold that plug bunker shot for an eagle in the playoff. Those are just very memorable moments.
Does everybody agree he jumps higher than Mickelson?
Like the fish story.
At least 20 inches of vertical. Questions?
How do you cure the yips in the trap?
Well, that's a good question. It's mostly technique, I guess. You need to be somewhat comfortable, but the trap shots are mostly technique, and it's, believe it or not, one of the simpler shots in golf because we have a special club for it. It has bounce on it. Most clubs don't have bounce on the bottom, so get with your pro, get a lesson, and you can fix it in 5 or 10 minutes, I think. Honestly, it's not a mental thing, it's usually technique. Go ahead, sir.
What's your itinerary between now and playing in the tournament?
Well, I meant to play the tournament in Biloxi, the Mississippi one, then the U.S. Masters, the Outback, and then the one in Savannah, the Legends. So 4 in a row, it's a busy stretch coming up. And then we have a week off, and we got our first match at the Tradition in Birmingham. So the season is really getting going now. We've had only 4 tournaments so far in the year. I was fortunate enough to win the one in Naples a few weeks back, so things are pretty good.
Every year with the new guys coming on, once you're on the Champions Tour, you look at that group of guys and say, wow, this is going to be great to compete against them, or you look at it and say, oh shoot, now look what I'm going to do.
A bit of both, really. It's great to have them out here. When guys like Fred Couples join our tour, or Pavin, or Paul Azinger, or Mark Alcavecchia, those are names that you all recognize, that the public recognizes, and they're good for our tour. And we've been friends for many, many years. So it's great to have them out here. It really is. It's for the better of the game. It's for the better of the tour, and we all benefit from it.
Bernhard, how different is Augusta now compared to your 2 wins?
Very good question. Totally different. When I said I used to love Augusta, I still love it, but not as much because it's just so different. It was the only golf course where there was no rough. Any other actually strategize and plan on the tee. Do I want to be on the left side of the fairway or the right side? Do I want to hit the second shot over that pond into the green, or come from the right side and play alongside the water? Number 5 was another one. You know, the green is built this way, and the fairway was along the trees. So if you hug it close to the trees, you could play along the green. If you play safe over here, you were playing across the green. All that is taken out now. There's no more strategy. You just hope to hit the fairway, and if you do that, then you know you have a better chance. But they've taken all the angles out by planting, I think, 5,000 trees over the last few years, and then they took 14 holes. They took about 28 to 70 yards further back, and it made the golf course. You know, they called it, "We're going to make it tiger-proof." They did just the opposite. They played into the hands of the long hitters. It's much harder now for a medium to short hitter, I think, to win that tournament. And then, you know, we'll tell you another story. We always have the past champions dinner every Tuesday night at the Masters, and it would be just the chairman of the club and the past champions, and we sit at one big table. And at the end of the dinner, the chairman would sometimes ask, "Well, gentlemen, any suggestions, anything we can improve upon?" And, you know, Arnold would get up every once in a while, or Jack, or Gary Player, or, you know, the odd other guy. And one time I remember somebody got up, I think it was Jack, and said, "You know, we play half the fairway with the mowers going this way, and half the fairway with the mowers going against us. And if you land it just on this side, the ball skids and runs forever. And if you land it just on that side of the fairway, the ball kind of digs in because it's like putting into the grain or down grain." And so that's a good point. So we made a little note. And next day or whatever, a few days later, they lined up all the mowers on the green and they mowed everything toward this way. Which makes a big difference. People have no idea what difference it makes. The course plays much longer just because of that. You don't get the run. Secondly, when if you hit your iron shot and the grain is into you, if you just catch it slightly fat, you get a few blades of grass between you, get a flyers. And if the grass was mowed away from you, you catch it fat, the club just skids on the grass and you still have good contact. I thought it made a huge difference just in how the golf course plays. Any other questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for this. Look forward to the tournament in 3 weeks. And again, thanks for everybody coming out today. And I guess if anybody wants to do some one-on-one interviews,